Hey friends, this is April from Penguins Creative, and today I'm gonna dig into more of my 2021 planner haul, specifically the Noti efficiency notes, as well as Fleurir Labs one day, one page planner. So actually, let's start with the Noti first. So last year I started using the Noti branded planner, specifically the Noti Listy. And this year I already have released a video kind of going over a new addition to the Noti lineup, which is the Noti Business Basic Diary, or the PDCA as they call it. And then I kind of, in my research of figuring out what Noti notebooks are, I kind of am enamored and wanted to try out these smaller pocket size notebooks. They're called the Noti Efficiency Notes, Efficiency Techos, and they are the standard size of the Noti Efficiency Techo lineup, which is this interesting kind of almost like field note size, but not really. And they come out with the one you might have heard of is Noti Efficiency Gold, which usually uses lamb leather or sheep leather. So it's very supple, but the one I got is kind of the cheaper and the more mass market version, which is in green. So this one is essentially their signature layout, which has the monthly in the form of Gantt charts and weeklies in like a horizontal layout where you have all the days of the week on the left side and blank memo page on the right side. And so if you go on Instagram, it's very easy to follow how Japanese users use this notebook by using specifically this hashtag in kanji, which spells out to be Noritsu Techo, and this is 1215. I got the one in green, but they also had one that is in red, and the other one I think in black, I believe. But this is the one I like because I kind of wanted to have that green consistency throughout my planner lineup. So the paper is pretty awesome. It's their proprietary paper. It's thin enough to be a little pocket notebook, but it also feels sturdy as well. And up here on the top right corner, you'll see like week whatever it is. And there are some kanji, but it also shows the days of the weeks in English. So it's very convenient. I also like how they do highlight weekends or just specifically Sundays in red. And here's the yearly layout, kind of at a glance. And this is mostly used by, I guess, business people or men specifically in the Japanese market to keep track of schedule, keep track of business appointments. So this Gantt chart is very easy for them to track projects or appointments rather than the monthly block form because it kind of has like a longer duration way to interpret time or projects. And for these, the timeline, interestingly, is across the top, so you can easily draw a line to kind of correlate with the exact timestamp you're referring to. I plan to use this as a pocket notebook just because I wanted to kind of build up the habit of having a little planner or techo with me at all times. So this is going to be like in the house, on the go planner, and I'll actually show you how I plan to set it up. And in the back, there's only a little bit of some different note pages, a few in grid, a few in ruled, and I think a few in like this weird graph paper. It's overall very simple. The ink is in green. It's just so light and convenient. I think this is smaller than an A6, which I'm gonna compare. Yeah, this is an A6 Hobonichi Techo, so this kind of sits a little bit smaller than that. So it fits into like a front shirt pocket very easily. So now you're wondering what is this on this side. This is called the Noti Memo T, Memo in short. And they also came out with many beautiful fun colors this year for next year, for 2021. And I chose one that has this kind of bright orange. And I thought if I pair it together, it looks very nice. So what the Memo T is basically is just extra note pages. It's the entire book that is just notes, but it does have a dated calendar for 2021 in the front. So I wanted to use this as a supplement to the main pocket planner and have this as like the idea on the go commonplace notebook that I can have with me if I run out of space over here. So plain grid notebooks, there's a lot of these reference points for you to easily draw charts. I might try to implement some bullet journaling techniques in here just based on daily to-dos. And I thought it'd be a cool combination. And so where am I gonna house these? They are gonna be on the go, and I'm hoping these two will kind of be paired together at all times. So this year I bought this beige Hobonichi cover from Oblation later this year, which they actually have the new stuff. And instead of using the A6 Techo in here, I wanted to incorporate these two into the system so I can have this as a pocket size on-the-go pouch that I can carry with me into my car or to run errands. So what I plan is to have the calendar planner housed in this pocket, and this one where it's the free note be in this pocket. Oops. And so you can still easily close this, and then it is more than enough space on both sides. And I actually might have more space to put a pen because these are smaller notebooks, so maybe one pen or so. And then here could be like the cards that I would use to go out, maybe a little memo or fuzens in these pockets. And then these markers will just basically, I can use them as the random note markers and the planner note markers. So a very convenient layout for me. So that's how I plan to use my Noti efficiency note planners. And this is going to be like my professional on-the-go planner setup. So speaking of not professional on-the-go setup, I treated myself again this year to the brand Fleurir Lab, which is a brand from Taiwan, and I have already released a few videos kind of talking about how I used it this year, the unboxing itself, but I wanted to share the unboxing with you guys because again, Fleurir Labs, they kind of outdid themselves and really came up with a beautiful design and packaging that I can't wait to share with you guys. And I also bought on the side a little bit of a note card here, which I will share as soon as we unbox. Comes in this kind of like velvety texture box that looks like a jewelry box. And it's called Serenite, which is the one that I bought. It's an A6 size, 1-day, 1-page planner that uses Tomoe River paper, 68 GSM, and it came with this little cute kind of calendar or note card. I assume is probably like an instruction on how to use it. So let's take a look. And if you can read Chinese, this is a very nice paragraph about the expectations the designer and the creator has for this planner and how they wish us good luck on using it to the fullest. It's just very romantic, really. The creator, I think she studies sociology and is also a very well-versed person. So having this is kind of like receiving a very beautiful poetic prose from a writer. And so mine is 01413, really pretty color. And this is, I think, kind of like a bookmark. Fleur your home, simple and quiet. So I think this is, oh my gosh, more note cards. This is so beautiful. So this is kind of like little fuzens or little memo notes that you can use as note cards, and it's just got all these beautiful sentences, poems that are included below. She's very literary, this creator. And here's a pretty print that you can save or collage. So here is the planner itself. It's very secure and snug in this box she designed. So I'm gonna bring it out. And what attracted me about this book in the first place is this beautiful spine. It's not like, usually it's hidden or has like a book cover, but the creator chose to expose it and use the red thread, which is very typical in like old Asian like books. And look at the cover. It is a depiction of a night starry sky and the mountains. So you can kind of see the valleys here and then these twinkly white spots. It's very dark navy blue, and on the side you can clearly see the month of the days. And let me just take out the pencil board that is also free and included in this purchase. And I love this kind of Polaroid like design, and on the back you can look at the yearly calendar. So the book series, like the planners themselves, are called Piranha Schedule Book. But this one in A6 size is Serenites, and it actually has like a B6 size as well, but I believe it's probably sold out. And because the creator is from Taiwan, she really incorporated a lot of the Chinese literary aspects into the theme of the book. So you would have like these chapters, so to speak, that kind of depicts the seasonalities of the Chinese or the lunar calendar, and then kind of she gives each month a name. And in the front, in the preface, you can write about your expectations for this year, past, present, future, life list, the ideal day. And I thought this is very intentional and nice. You have a very simple yearly layout. And this is kind of similar to many planners. This is where you can plan out the entire year on a very quick glance. And this is what I also find interesting, and you might have seen it mirrored in the Noti efficiency note, is that it also has a little Gantt chart in the beginning. So you can use this as a habit tracker, or you can use this as just like a general kind of project tracking or life phase tracking, if you will. So it's very useful. And then we come to the monthly spreads. And look how at the beginning of each month, there's the name of the month that she kind of has created that, you know, corresponds with the seasonality. There's a reference to the Chinese calendar where they tell you, oh, this is the month where it's good to do this. You know, you want to try to avoid this other thing. And I like the section, which is called practice, and it's kind of these meditative things that you can do for yourself to kind of stay calm. And so this is the monthly calendar, and it is very confusing at first glance, but you do find English numbers over here on the left side to kind of indicate which day of the month it is. It has these kind of astrological signs as well that I can't really read. Over here on the right is the Chinese calendar that many of us still kind of use to reference significant holidays. So definitely a planner that really caters to the Taiwanese market. I like how she started translating the seasonality in the Japanese way of kind of depicting the lunar calendar. So slight cold, great cold during January. Oh wow, even other translations of the word January. And then the holidays kind of in this faded color. So it's very simple. Everything's kind of printed to be a light ink, so you can easily write over or cover it up. And then we come to the one day, one page. So I find this to be a great alternative to the Hobonichi if you're the kind that does not like quotes, because as you can see, there's plenty more space at the bottoms, because unlike the Hobonichi, it does not include daily quotes. It has the day of the week up here. The month is kind of smaller, but the date is very big. And then again, some of the moon phases, the astrology signs, and then the Chinese calendar. So it kind of just goes like this, very simple, except on the weekends the top row is highlighted, whereas on weekdays it's not. And so you'll find that the monthly calendars, the monthly view, are not all bundled together, but instead they're bundled with the days. So you'll find them, in each section instead of all together in the front. And before each month, there's always the preface page with like a blank slate to write about expectations, for the month. So I really like how simple and clean it is, and this layout, the vibe of this planner really just calls for a very meditative, a very intentional way to approach journaling. So I plan to use this as a mindfulness journal where, at the end of the day, I can write down a few thoughts, sentences that doesn't necessarily speak to what happened during the day, because that goes into my Hobonichi Techo, but kind of just a little bit of mindfulness practice every day and my thoughts about that. And I'm not going to pressure myself to write in this every day, and just kind of hopefully build up a practice of at least 3 times a week, and start from that, and make good use of this beautiful planner. So I think at the very end there's a few things I want to show. There are the end there's the end, and there are some grid pages at the back, not too many. Ooh, and all the pages are numbered as well, by the way. You go into the back. Okay, so I love these pages. So here's an idea page. Unfortunately, it's in Chinese, but these are actually all prompts that you can use to think about the day. So for example, daily idea. What did I dream of last night? Did I do anything good today? What is making me unhappy? Or it could be list ideas, habits I wanted to have, what I really need in my life, what kind of items makes me feel comfortable, or then even like little ritual ideas, when you wanted to go to sleep, what are some little rituals you can do? What are some rituals you do to feel the passings of the season? So these are all great prompts, and really kind of allows me to have some good ideas on how to be more mindful and more attentive, more meditative even in my daily routine. And then here's also kind of like this Venn diagram of a sort about things that are meaningful to you in your life. And on the back, you have a little bit of an astrology chart that I don't quite understand. But here, this is something I really find helpful this year, and it's called a worry tree. And this is what I use to help me journal about my, anxiety, my fears and insecurities, because this is essentially a guide to help you break down the source of your concerns or what you're worrying about, and then through the act of journaling, process them and write them down, and perhaps even come to a better conclusion, if you will. So I really like that. About the author page, a lot of astrological things, and that's it. So this is my mindfulness journal from Fleurir Lab that I'll continue to use this year, and I'm not going to put a cover on it because it's so pretty. So I'm just going to kind of have it sit out here, I guess. And I was going to show you guys the cool cover cards or cover postcards that I purchased from this order as well. So each year Fleurir Lab comes out with 2 designs, the A6 and the B6. And then sometimes she has some of these cover page ideas. And this pack of 4 contains both the ones they use for A6 and the B6, as well as some that did not make the cut, but she really likes them, so she wants to share them with us in this way. So I use them as like pencil boards or just nice cards to kind of use as a bookmark. Let me share it to you, and you can buy them in A6 size or B6 size. So the first one is the same one that is on my cover. This is the one that almost made the cut. I thought it would have been really beautiful as well. This kind of deep ocean like effect with some light splattering. It's called Daylight Hope. Delicate is the one that is in the B6 size this year. These beautiful flowers. And this is the hydrangea that did not make the cut for the B6 ephemeral instant. And they're just, you know, postcards, note cards. And, you know, I sometimes use them as, you know, bookmarks or pencil boards whenever I feel like it. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of my 2 systems as part of my lineup this year. Stay tuned for more as I kind of go into how I plan to use the rest of the planners I've planned for 2021. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy this. Check out my next video or other videos about my journals for 2020 and 2021. And, you know, subscribe and like this video, or tell me in the comments what you think about the Fleurir Lab planner or the Noti efficiency Techos. Thank you.